East Legon accident. Salifu Amoako re-arrested after AG dropped initial charges. And reading from ChannelOneNews.com, so you can read along if you are logged in. The state has withdrawn charges against Salifu Amoako, his wife, and a third individual to allow the further investigations into the case. However, shortly after leaving the courtroom, they were re-arrested under fresh legal circumstances. The three were initially arrested and charged with permitting an unlicensed person to drive after their 16-year-old son, who was behind the wheel, crashed into a car at East Legon, resulting to the deaths of two teenagers. The son has already been convicted of manslaughter in connection with the incident. On Monday, February 17, 2025, the state informed the court of its decision to drop the charges against Amoako, his wife, and a third accused person. The move is intended to enable the police to conduct additional investigations and determine the appropriate course of action. Following the state's request, the judge officially struck out the charges. And we have that. And we also have the part where they were actually re-arrested. So, guys, let's get straight into this conversation. It's a bit confusing for a lot of us. Like, what does this mean, or what is really going on? But I'm sure you understand the legal and procedural factors. I don't know if you really understand everything, but some of us really don't understand what's going on. If you were asked to explain, what do you think the legal factors might? Which legal factors is actually at play at this moment?
Well, first of all, good morning, and then good morning to our viewers. First of all, I don't pretend to be a lawyer because I'm not. However, in such matters, the police or the state is allowed to discontinue a case as and when it deems it fit, without even giving explanation. Okay.
Right.
And so I'm sure that is what is at stake now. However, with the rearrest of the individuals involved is what makes it quite strange, because this is just a normal, traffic offense.
Right.
You get it? And the earlier one, the boy who was driving the car has actually been, convicted.
Yeah.
These are his parents.
Right.
Who are also going through another aspect of that same case. You get it? Now, everything is supposed to run smoothly. Okay, but for the Attorney General's Department to withdraw and say that, oh, you know something, we are not interested in the case. The people walked out, and then quickly they were rearrested.
Yeah.
And then the claim is that they are now going to be, another investigation, proper investigation is going to be carried out. I mean, we should try as much as possible to avoid such dramas.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
This drama, we should try as much as possible to avoid it. Now, if there is a way of prosecuting this matter and doing it thoroughly, let's just go ahead and do it, and then, to assuage people's pains. Young girls, when you drive through, let's say, airport, in front of the airport police station, there's a huge billboard of these two girls, the victims, there on a billboard. I was driving there, then I saw the two, and I was, who are these? Then it clicked me that, oh yes.
The girls.
Yes. One of them, the uncle, is a very good friend of mine.
Right.
Okay. And, I mean, see the circumstances under which they passed. A 16-year-old boy with a sudden upbringing, okay, picks the parents' car, and then off he goes. And see what's happened. Two precious lives were lost. Now, if the police can't continue to be, rubbing it in, or whoever, with a poor investigation and then poor, let's say, prosecution and all that, I don't know what they're doing. But whatever it is that they are doing, they better come out with something good that could just, because people were really, really angry.
Yeah, everybody was angry.
People were really angry. People were really angry. So withdrawal, rearrest, and so on and so forth. Just do this thing. How come in elsewhere, other jurisdictions, people are able to do this thing and then once and for all. Okay, this is a country that has spent billions of dollars putting in place cameras all over, certain places, capturing a lot of these things. Aside that, there are residents in that area who have, let's say, cameras. Okay, you can also rely on for whatever it is. The fact that the boy was driving, a 16-year-old boy who was on Lancers was driving that car at the time, it's known. What else is there? The traffic rules are there. Apply them. Apply them. What else? This thing, I mean, sometimes you are forced to say certain things. But our laws seem to recognize faces.
Right.
Okay, personalities and so on. So, I mean, different charge for different people. You don't do that. You don't do that. Talking about that, have you noticed, I mean, how pitch dark this country has become, the city of Accra? Yeah? Street lights are not working. The Greater Accra Regional Minister, upon assumption of office, promised that she was going to do that, work on it. Legon Medina Road, all the way to Adenta and beyond. Total darkness. I mean, listen, security and light are bedfellows. Okay? And while that is not working, the same Legon Medina, around Oponglo, entering University of Ghana and East Legon, the traffic lights there for close to 3 or 4 or 5 months now, are not working. I mean, when that is a major, accident spot. Because students entering Legon and those coming out from there, I mean, Legon is a whole community on its own. Workers coming from there going to East Legon. Okay, top speed and all that. The least of thing accident, the least of thing crashes. I mean, you can't continue to do that. We want to wait for a big man supposedly to die. Then we'll come and say, oh, so and so and so. Then quickly you see them running around, fixing this, fixing that. But if it's the ordinary guy, nobody cares. Legon Medina Road, the traffic lights. For when you move from there to another crossroad, before you get to Presec, again,
that
is the UPSA. Again, the traffic lights there are not working. I lost a police friend over there about, let's say, less than a year ago. A huge, a driver's mate had been given a truck to drive in the middle of the night. There's a police officer who had, told the wife that, listen, I'm going to work and come. He lived at the Tesano barracks. The truck rammed into him, went into coma for 3 days, and then died subsequently. Okay? So, I mean, at least, if for nothing at all, just give us street lights.
Right.
And give us the traffic lights to work. That is the way you care about people. That is the way the change, can be felt. The little things, okay? Not the huge ones. The huge ones people know will take time. But the traffic lights, key. And I'm saying that billions of dollars were spent on fixing cameras all over the place. If we can use that to prosecute a minor who is on Lancers to drive, but his parents allowed him to go and drive because, there was a party going on at home. Okay, at least he just fixed the lights for us. Traffic lights. The street lights.
Very important, yeah.
They are security driven. These are key security, indicators. Investors want to come. If they come and your traffic light is not working, or you don't even have street lights. I don't want to talk about how untidy our streets have become. Meanwhile, people are paid every month. Okay? And they claim to be sweeping in the name of what and whatever. I mean, Accra is still dirty. Right.
Elvis, how does this situation actually reflect on the justice system? Do you think it's a case of political interference or just due process?
I think the last time I said that we don't fight corruption with fanfare, neither do we do it with populism. See, things should be done in a way that the ordinary person can have confidence in a system that this system works. But when things are done in a certain way, it's difficult for the ordinary person to say, I can have confidence that this system works. Yeah. Because as Larry rightfully said, what if it had happened to me? Nobody knows me. Right. Or the poor person somewhere who nobody knows. Who is going to care? No, you've been known. You're a senior journalist. Who is going to care? Do you understand it? So the way we handle some of these issues is why we don't have confidence in the justice delivery system. Because this is a case that has happened. This case's investigation, even the prosecution, I've not heard of the medical report from whichever hospital the guy was sent to. Right. What tests were conducted on him to know what state of mind the guy was at the time, whatever tests have been done, whether they checked whether there are substance abuse issues involved. I've not heard anything about the medical report to the hospital where the gentleman was sent to. And then all of a sudden prosecution that has been given 6 months to go. And then the parents who are also facing prosecution, all of a sudden charges have been arrested. Yeah. When you do these things, you give the public the view that something is influencing something somewhere.
That you don't value lives.
Do you understand it? It means that something is influencing something somewhere.
Why?
That is what the impression you create. Because I'm not a lawyer, as Larry said. But I know that you can be prosecuting a case, and if you have new evidence to add to it, you still seek leave of the judge, and you amend the charge sheet, and you can add whatever information you have had that you think that will help the case. So I'm asking myself, can't the investigation that is to be conducted still be done at the time that the case is going on? So that if they found additional evidence of anything that has not been included on the charge sheet, they would have either seek leave of the judge and add it to it, so that it will just be. But now you've dropped the case, we are going to investigate it again. You come back with fresh charges against the people you have arrested, back and forth. So the person sitting back will say, this country, I don't think justice works. I think it depends on who you are and who you know. So I think that some of these actions really create a problem. All of a sudden, there's a change of government, and then this is what we are hearing. Right. So how do you expect the ordinary person sitting home to think? And then when the state goes out and do these things of, we are dropping charges, we are re-arresting, reinvestigating. You see, you create a deficit for the investigative institutions in the system. Right. Because if you are saying that you are going to reinvestigate the case, the indirect consequence or the direct consequence of what you are saying is that the first investigation was not well done. Was not right. You understand it? You are saying that the first investigation is shoddy. People didn't do a good job. That is why you think a new investigation has to be done. So you are casting a doubt on the work of the investigative body. So the ordinary Ghanaian was, when cases happen, they don't investigate. So they investigate it the way they want, depending on who is involved. So actions like this where the AG department will just come and say we are dropping cases, and all of a sudden they say we are re-arresting person and putting the person back, and we are going to do now investigation and come back. These kind of things create the problem. So remember, last I was saying that even when it comes to investigations, what I know and I see everywhere in any serious country is that before the institution says we are coming after you, it means they have done a thorough job. They've had a lot of information, and they are convinced in their mind that what they have is enough to put you in jail or to prosecute you successfully before you even hear that they are going after somebody. But here what we hear is that we are going after this person before we even start investigation.
Before we investigate.
We are going after this person before we investigate. So I have said that, look, we cannot continue to do things this way and expect the other person sitting home to have any confidence in the systems we run. If we don't change the way we do things and we continue to do all these kind of things, the ordinary person will never have confidence in the system. Confidence will continue to drop. Look, these two kids, look, somebody's future. I'm told one of the kids is the only
only
child.
Yeah, that's
Of the parents.
my friend's niece.
The only child, okay, of the parents. What if the parents are at a stage where probably they are not capable of having children anymore?
Again.
So the issues we are talking about here are very sensitive. We live in a country where over 2,000 people die from road crashes. That is even the ones that are reported. For the past 10 years, we have been recording at least more than 2,000 people dying from road crashes each year in this country. So road crashes, I have said, is the epidemic, is the COVID that we don't think about, is the pandemic that we are just not paying attention to. And something like this has happened that everybody sees as a straightforward case, and they expect that, oh, this one will be dealt with in a way that the people will think that, oh, there's some confidence in the system.
Right.
And then this is the step that has been taken. How do you expect? Look, ask yourself, the parents of these kids and their family members sitting home and hearing the news that these people have been, and then they say they have been, and then now the issue is that they are going to do investigation again. Ask yourself what kind of things will be going through their head. They will be asking themselves, does it mean the first investigation was not done well?
Not done well.
Does it mean somebody influenced the first investigation? All kinds of things will be going through their mind. And then they'll be asking themselves, so is this country the kind of country we should be living in, that a simple thing like this accident captured on camera and its investigation too, we have been told that it has to be done again. So you see, the institutions of state that we have, if they don't change their way of doing things and begin to do things the way that the ordinary person sitting back and say,
who is prosecuting? Is it the police or the attorney general?
exactly, the police.
The police.
And it's something they have. I mean,
Been doing.
he had been doing all over,
Been doing.
and so they know what it is
You
to
understand
deal
me?
with.
So for me, if we don't have the institution of state changing their ways of doing things, and then begin to do things in a way that it's confidence. Okay, because what you have done now, you go and come, and then still at the end of the prosecution, probably the very things that were presented are the same things that ended up being decided on.
Right.
Then all these decisions you have taken that you think investigation have not been done well and all that, no, what comes out of it? So we should stop creating situations that actually make the public to lose confidence in the institutions.
Right. So talking about the public, you know, like when issues like this happen, everybody is on their toes trying to understand what's happening. Okay, what's next? What's going to happen next? Just in case I'm in this situation, what's going to happen next? So what role does media scrutiny help in, you know, ensuring transparency in this sort of issues?
Oh, I mean, I think that is what we are doing. The fact that we are here discussing it, it's part of the scrutiny. And then the fact that it's been reported is part of the scrutiny. The fact that you guys are showing it on TV is part of the scrutiny. You get it? But beyond that, should I say, or is the police ready to do what is expected of them? As I asked, I mean, they are the ones prosecuting. It's something they've been doing over the years. The traffic offenses, it's their Bible or their manual. You get it? So why did they rush in the first place? You recall when the boy was convicted, his one of the grandparents of the she was angry that what kind of what is that? What kind of offense is, what kind of punishment is that?
Exactly. For a life.
Yes, for a life.
Like 2 lives that were taken.
Exactly. Okay, she went berserk. I mean, talking. I mean, these are not the parents. I was told that the lady, the Agbenu girl, the mother, for a long time couldn't talk. She was traumatized. Couldn't talk. I mean, Larry, out of her mind.
It will not be easy.
That is the only child.
Your only child.
That is the only child.
And dies in a traumatic manner.
Exactly.
Bent to ashes. In a fire like that.
Like that.
It's not
okay, the least the police could do for us is not these games.
You understand it?
Do you understand?
It's not that
like
easy.
He said, I mean, you are allowed to, whatever, just work on, amend your charge sheets if need be.
Yeah.
But this withdrawal, and then as if you are restarting. In the first place, what did you charge the person with in the first place? Is there a case after that, and then their lawyers filed their defenses, then you notice that no, you had done the wrong thing, or you were, in a bid to protect somebody in the first place. Around this, when this matter happened, There was a video that was, that apparently was earlier recorded, where the same man was talking about how powerful he is in the Ghanaian society.
True.
And even talked about traffic offenses that he could do, and then the police will allow him to go. And all he needed to do was to make a call to somebody, some powerful person. Has he made any call?
We thank God the Lord is taking it.
Or the powerful person is no longer in power.
Or exactly. You don't play with people's emotions like that. This is what get people to, resort to doing other things on their own.
Mob justice.
Mob justice.
Because this guy, in fact, if it had happened in a place like, excuse me, densely populated area, something, maybe the guy would have been lynched.
You he
may not end up at the hospital.
You don't do this in Teshi.
No, it won't happen.
Not in Teshi. No. 16-year-old boy.
Sagazungo in Kumazo.
Privileged boy.
In this issue.
Privileged boy. Riding, doing such a thing.
You may be lynched. You may be lynched as just to pay back for you also killing some people.
Right.
Some of us, our parents didn't treat us well at all,
So,
anyway.
So we shouldn't let people be resorting to mob justice simply because the justice system conducts itself in a certain manner that gives people the impression that we cannot trust the justice system and therefore we must take the law into our own hands. It is very important.
Right.
Chris, it is on the lighter note. I recall, even before you touch a TV, you have to go and ask permission.
You have to ask, please, can I change the channel?
No, you don't change the channel.
Can you easily change the channel?
At the time, even know how many channels do we have? Black and white TV.
The TV is in a box. They lock it with a key. Until your father comes to open the box, you cannot even touch it.
You cannot.
The TV is locked. It's a black and white.
Okay, I cannot relate to that. On that.
Of course,
you cannot. Yeah, we understand. But we are telling our story. But no, to think that you pick your father's car
and just leave,
Even a bicycle back then, you couldn't touch it. Who are you? Who Mondo? Do you understand?
Right.